Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, Indonesia's property price index in the third quarter of this year is still seeing an increase. According to the latest data of property price index in Indonesia, the third quarter of 2021 is showing signs of further improvement. The index increased 1.97% compared to last year's data, as interest for property listings in Indonesia continues on from last year, even though the COVID-19 pandemic has just unfolded at the time. As mobility restrictions were implemented this year, interest for property listings slightly declined, but surprisingly, in August 2021, it rebounded back. And to know more about the current condition of Indonesia's property market, let's talk with the chairman of Real Estate Indonesia, Totok Lusida. Hello, Pak Totok.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to
Tanya.
have you. Yes, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, Pak Totok.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. So tell us what's been happening in the property market up to the third quarter of this year. How has the pandemic affected or not affected the market, and in what way, Pak Totok?
Yeah, thank you. The property market is gaining momentum despite the slow start in the first quarter of 2021. Reason behind this growth is due to government incentive and the relaxation of restriction on community activities. Therefore, if government incentive and the low COVID-19 rate are to be maintained until third quarter or fourth quarter, the growth will continually increase. As the biggest property association, REI, Real Estate Indonesia, we have proposed to the government to prolong the incentive until the end of 2022.
Until next year. Yes, Pak Toto, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so your projection. What kind of numbers are you seeing right now, Pak Toto? We're seeing that some companies are currently experiencing a sharp increase in sales. Do you project this will continue until the end of this year? And what's your projection for next year, with or without the stimulus?
Yeah, based on data from Indonesia Deposit Insurance Corporation, RBS, 29% of deposit in bank is in the amount of 100 million rupiah until 2 billion rupiah. This indicates a strong buying power from the market. Due to VAT relaxation, BPN DTP, from the government, the market is incentivized to spend their money for buying house, especially for millennial group. Therefore, the VAT relaxation lasts until the end of the year, until December. Increase in sales will prolong until the VAT relaxation program stops or until conditions become normal, like condition before pandemic.
Okay. When are you going to see that? Well, like before the pandemic happens, when will the number be better or become at the level or reach the level before the pandemic? Are you seeing it for next year, Pak Toto?
Yeah, I hope that the incentive from the government, especially from tax and relaxation for COVID-19, PPKM, still ongoing until the end of the year or until the end of 2022. We strongly believe that the growth of property sales will continually increase.
Okay. So what are you seeing as the type of property that has the most positive outlook?
Based on data from Indonesia Property Watch and REI, we see that houses under 2 billion rupiah still has the most promising and positive outlook. This is due to strong middle class buying power and tax incentive from the government, which are targeted to this group, millennial group especially. Sales of housing costing up to 2 billion has increased by 26 from first quarter 2021, and until now he has reached or 92% from the whole of the housing sales until now.
Okay, so based on these data, will you be seeing a price increase in the near future?
Yeah, relaxation of COVID-19 restriction also encourage the upper class to invest in property, which indicated that by the sales of luxury housing costing higher than 2 billion has increased by 125% from first quarter 2021. From our perspective, housing seems to be the safest bet because other forms of properties such as malls, retail, hotels, as a state of uncertainty due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay, so what other factors should we be looking out for that would perhaps negatively impact the outlook for the property market in Indonesia?
First of all, is job creation law has been as a new regulation that entered into force. And then secondly, the debt restructuration policy by counter-cyclical policy by the OJK, which assists business owners facing financial problems due to the pandemic. Thirdly, decrease of interest rate benchmark PE rate to a record low in an attempt to support the economic recovery. Fourth, the implementation of VAT relaxation, 100% of properties price less than 2 billion rupiah and 50% for properties price less than 5 billion rupiah. Lastly, relaxation of COVID-19 restriction due to low infection rate of COVID-19 and successful mass vaccination. This combination of incentive has created a conducive business environment for the market, especially for raising confidence for consumers to buy property at this time.
Very well, Pak Totok. So you think that right now, is it really a good time for Indonesian people to invest in property? And why do you think that is? And if not, then when is the best time to invest in properties, Pak Totok?
Despite facing one of the worst economic conditions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, it is now the perfect time to invest in property due to the government's policy to implement incentive for property buyers. I personally appreciate the government through PEN, and all other efforts into combating the economic hardness. The government's willingness to implement incentive has never been this high. Before, it is an opportunity of a lifetime to invest in property.
Okay, so again, I just want to highlight this. Will there be a price increase in the housing market?
I think our members from REI never give the new price or higher price for right now until the recovery of the economic condition will be achieved by together from the entrepreneur, from the economic, and also from the government, and then will be we increase the price because right now the price for property in Indonesia is still lower than other countries in ASEAN. For example, from Vietnam, 10 times price than Indonesia in the same houses in Vietnam and Indonesia. The same developers has 10 times difference between Indonesia and Vietnam.
Okay. So you're not. So it depends on. It's going to depend on the economic condition, and you're not seeing a price increase until the economic conditions in Indonesia improves. So, Pak Toto, I just want to ask you one last question. What happens if the stimulus doesn't continue up until next year? What's going to happen to the property market if it doesn't?
I also ask right now from the government to extend the regulation relaxation for VAT until the end of 2022.
Okay.
And I hope, or we wish all, that Indonesia not get a third wave of pandemic COVID-19. Because if we get another pandemic from the COVID-19, everything will be changed from the economy right now in right rule, right track for all of the economic, especially in property.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, the Chairman of Real Estate Indonesia, Totok Lusida. Thank you again for joining us on this show. And Jakarta Movers and Shakers will be back with more news. Stay tuned.